Mickey Harte. Now, Mickey, before the break we were talking about Michaela making predictions. How did she make the predictions and in what circumstance?
Well, I suppose after the 97 minor final, when things were going to be finished off from Father Gerard Mione's perspective, she decided to write on a napkin or whatever you want to call it, that a prediction or a wish list she'd make for the future. And this is exactly what she came up with. And I noticed what she said, and she didn't say we might or we would love to or whatever. She said we will. And the we will was the real important part. We will win the minor in Ireland, we will on the 21s, we will win the seniors.
But it wasn't even that. She actually put dates on it. She said in 98 we will win the minor. In 2000 we will win the under 21s. As it happened, you won also in 2001.
Yes.
So her predictions actually proved remarkably prescient.
Absolutely. It's really, I don't know, it's mind-boggling how accurate it was. And I suppose it teaches us a lot about somebody with the real will for something to happen. But, you know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing that she had that kind of belief, and she had that belief in the players that we had at that young age. And I suppose she just determined that this had to happen. It was in her mindset that this would happen. And it's just amazing that it did, and I'm very grateful that it did.
Okay, an old head, therefore, on young shoulders. So how long did it take you to keep looking at this napkin? And I know that John McAreevy had that framed for you, and it's a very thoughtful thing to do. But looking at that napkin, how long before Mickey changed his mind?
Well, I suppose when we came back after the 97 defeat, as it were, we were back in Crookston maybe the next night, and I had sort of declared, and myself and Father Gerard, that we'd given this from 91 to 97. We'd done our best. We got to a final. This just seemed we weren't going to win this Tom Markham Cup. So we decided that it was going to be the end of it, and then Michaela heard about this, and she was talking to Brian McGuigan and Stephen O'Neill, and together they decided that they needed to put some pressure on me to stay on for at least one more year. I suppose because a lot of them were underage next year again, that was 1998, and they believed that they were going to do it. And I suppose she was, again, we say we always need a catalyst for things to happen. I think Michaela was the catalyst to instigate this process, and lo and behold, before we reached home that night, we were thinking and preparing for 1998.
Strategizing for 1998.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt that Michaela was such an integral part of your life, but also it seems that she was utterly central to the life of the team. In 1991, Mickey was appointed trainer of the Tyrone Miners. Although things didn't always go his way, his beloved daughter Michaela remained his greatest supporter.
She did all the things that children do that makes them feel important. Gathering up the balls, doing this, doing that, keeping her daddy right. And of course he adored the ground she walked on.
Michaela was one of the first in terms of style to make it, you know, the red trousers and the white top, or the white, you know, and the mixture of colours and the earrings and the red shoes, and she was a sort of a leader in that respect.
At the matches, she was never far from his side. Not only did she give him a certain comfort, she gave him a security as well.
Whenever the final whistle went, Mickey wanted to see Mate and Michaela, because they had always been, who he had turned to her minor success and the 21 success, whatever, that they would be the first that he would hug and embrace when the final whistle went. And that never changed.
Michaela would go on to qualify as a teacher just like her dad. As a student in Belfast, she'd met the love of her life, down footballer John McAreevy. They married on the 30th of December 2010, but what should have been a blissful honeymoon in Mauritius ended in tragedy. The news of Michaela's death was quickly followed by reports that she'd been killed disturbing a thief in her honeymoon suite.
It was Mickey rang me. I was at work, and it just, your stomach just drops, your legs go, I just said the worst thing in the world has happened.
If there was one way in which you could rip the heart out of Mickey Harte, it was to take his only daughter away, and that's exactly what happened.
I had watched Michaela grow up from she was an infant. I think I saw her the day after she was born. I baptized Michaela. It's very, very hard to even say the words that Michaela is dead. And I find that, on the one hand, I feel I want to talk about it because she needs to be honoured and her qualities needs to be honoured. But I'm always afraid that I'm just going to burst into tears.